Almond. Can't beat that. Greetings. Welcome to Chocolate Almond Milk. Now, you may have noticed that there's something a little bit different today. I'm actually staying at my aunt's house. Man, one of my favorite childhood memories was visiting my aunt's house because there would always be so much to do. This place was way different from home. It was out a little bit more in the country, a few more cornfields, plenty of trees to climb, just always things to do, just a good place to get away from everything. Another thing I love about being here is getting to spend more time with my aunt. I remember growing up, I really loved my aunt. I still do to this day. I remember as a kid, she was just that person who was always there for me. She was always that person I could count on. In fact, I remember one story about that right now. So this story happened when I was about 6. I remember walking outside one day and I laid eyes upon this tree. And it wasn't just any tree. It was the tree that I had named Goliath. Because it looked impossible to climb. It was tall, like Goliath. One day I walked outside and I looked at that tree and I said, "Hi Goliath, I'm David." Well, I found a way to climb that tree. I muscled my way up. I used every ounce of my tree climbing wit that I had. I made my way up into that tree, and I got up there. I remember this sense of accomplishment washing over me as I explored the many branches of Goliath. It was like a new playground had opened. It was a new world to explore. I conquered Goliath. And I was proud. While I was up there, a thought occurred to me. I really have no idea how I'm gonna get down from here. I looked down. It looked like the only way was to jump. And for a 6-year-old, that was a long way down. So I did what every 6-year-old does. I called for help. I called my aunt. So I yelled at the top of my lungs, "Aunt Rucy!" I was 6 years old at the time, so bear with me. "Aunt Rucy!" Unbeknownst to me at the time, my aunt was actually on the other side of the house gardening. At the time, my aunt was a hardcore gardener, and she was in her zone. I soon heard a response. "What?" I said, "Come here!" I heard the reply, "No, you come here." I'm in a tree! "No, you come here!" So, moments later, I saw my aunt walking around the corner of the house. I knew my cavalry had come. I knew my ship was at hand. She looked up and observed my predicament, examining every little detail. She spoke up and I could hear the heartfelt sympathy in her voice as she said, "You figured out how to get up there, you can figure out how to get down." I'm 6! And I'm in a tree! And then something occurred to me. I had no option except to figure out how to get down. So I put my hands to the plow. Metaphorically, of course, because it was really a tree. And I muscled my way down. I figured it out. And as my feet touched the ground, I sensed freedom, accomplishment, and the American way. So I went back to playing. It didn't occur to me at the time, but I learned a very important lesson that day. And that lesson is, whenever you put your mind to something, you can accomplish whatever you put your mind to. When life gives you avocados, you make a bologna sandwich. If Christopher Columbus won't go to Pizza Hut, bring Pizza Hut to Steven Spielberg. I regret that I only have one Adam's apple to give for my... You get the point. I learned an important lesson, even if... It was an important lesson, take my word for it. Nowadays, what I spend most of my time here doing is watching the Food Network, which drives me crazy because I can't just cook a normal meal anymore. I get up and I start cooking, and I make things that I wasn't planning on making. Because of the Food Network, I can't just have a simple breakfast anymore. It gets into your brain. I can't turn on the stove without it being some extreme, chopped, cutthroat kitchen Iron Chef extravaganza. It's the Food Network.